Hello students, welcome to my channel Soil and Land Management. This is Dr. Vaibhav Pandit, Assistant Professor, School of Agriculture, SR University, Warangal, Telangana. So today we will discuss the most important topic, that is the how to manage the soil health for climate resilience for the sustainable crop productivity under the changing environmental conditions. Today's topic is the managing soil health for the climate resilience and sustainable crop productivity in changing environment scenario. So we'll start. What is soil? Soil is a living body, will perform a different functions, which is composed of minerals, organic matters, organism, water, air, which continuously engage to perform different processes in a soil like physical, chemical, biological, not only physical, chemical, biological. What are the different processes will occur that also will perform the soil. For example, it will perform the soil respiration, it will perform the catenation capacity, it will perform the carbon sequestration or the decomposition of the organic matter or the conversion of pesticide or the conversion of one element organic form of element to another form. So it's a huge living body will uh, do work many function which is required for the environment, even also the human beings. So what soil can do and how it is good for the human being. You know that soil is the one foundation to construct the houses, roads, like that. It acts as a foundation stone. Then it just support the plant growth because it acts as a medium for the plant roots. That medium will supply the water, air, and also the gases which is required for the root respiration. Then it acts as a nutrient recycling is a major function in soil, which will convert the organic waste into inorganic nutrient, which is required for the plant for growth and development. Also, during the nutrient recycling process, many microorganisms will convert the organic form of nutrient into inorganic forms. And also the another function soil will perform, that is filtering. So what soil will have different types of toxic metals, pesticides that we call pollutant, that will get filtered into the soils, and the good quality of water will go into the underground water. Then it will perform the another function, that is the water regulation. It will store the water, it will control the water on the land, and it also filter the water before reaching the groundwater, and also it is helpful for to prevent the floods. So it acts as a habitat for the microorganisms. So these are the major functions soil will perform, and another function is, that is the buffering capacity of soil. The buffering capacity of soil is very important to control the nutrient status in the soil, or to control different pesticide or heavy metal content in the soil. If the soil will not perform the buffering function, the plant cannot take the nutrients, or the soil cannot store the nutrient in the soil for the longer duration. So these are the major functions soil can perform. The major topics presently all soil scientist community or all soil science readers are focusing, that is the soil health. What is soil health? Why is this important in present era? Soil health is the continuous capacity of soil to perform its function like a living body, to sustain biological productivity, maintain environmental quality, promote plant and animal health. So what are the environmental quality, plant health there, animal health there, even human beings, different biological functions which is occurring in the soil, occurring in the environment, that have to maintain proper optimal levels. So that one soil should do. So that's called the soil health. So why soil health is matter? So we know that we have nearly 329 million hectares of geographical area. From that 329 million hectares, as per the NBS's LDP data, nearly 146.8 million hectare soils is under degradation. It means that the soil will not give the productive yield, means we will not get the potential yield from the particular crops. So because of that, we will get the food insecurity issue. You know that the food productivity we have to increase year wise. In 2025 to 2026, our target food production target is nearly 400 million tons, but we are producing nearly 350 million tons. So we have 50 million tons lack of food production. So we are feeding the Indian mouth with the food grains which is available to our nation. But in future, because of the sudden change in the climate, we will not produce the more food grain. We cannot produce the more food grain, so there will the impact on the human being. So human being, so each and every mouth of the nation we cannot feed. So that's why if you will increase or if you will manage the soil health, or if you will improve soil quality, so that soil will increase the food production in India, so that we can feed the mouth of each people of the India. So why soil change occur and how we can do climate resilience through the soil. So you know that soil will have the huge amount of organic matter, so that organic matter will release the CO2. That CO2 is one of the greenhouse gas component and will trap the heat. Because of that, the temperature will increase. Because of increase in the temperature, the climate change will occur in the soil. When climate change will occur, we will face the extreme weather conditions like high temperature, floods, even droughts. If the temperature will increase because of change in the climate, the decomposition of organic matter rate will increase. So we cannot store the carbon in the soil for longer time, because carbon is one of the most important factor for the agriculture and soil health. So what are the factors for the climate change or the extreme weather conditions, like if we talk about the agriculture point of view, the unsustainable agriculture practices, like the continuous taking of only one crop, then the over fertilization, means more release of N2O, CO2, CH4 from the use of more fertilizers, then excessive tillage operations, then use of agrochemicals like pesticides, fungicides, and herbicides. So because of this, it will is the one harmful effects is coming on the climate. So because of that, there is a rising the temperatures, rising the droughts, or erratic rainfall. So because of that, these factors, climate, high temperature, drought, the organic carbon content in the soil is reducing, then the nutrient imbalance is occurring, and the loss of biodiversity. These are the major soil health parameters, that is the biodiversity, nutrients, and organic carbon. These are declining. Because of that, water scarcity is coming, then habitat fragmentation is occurring because of the floods. Then how it will affect the agriculture? Then the organic carbon content will reduce, or if we lose the biodiversity, like the microbial diversity, or if we lose the nutrient imbalance, then it will have the negative impact on the crop yield. So the pest and disease attack also will increase. So there is a direct threat to our food security. So how we can manage the climate change effect on our soil health, so that we can go for a sustainable agriculture, and we can balance our food security, or we can focus on more about our food security. So we should follow the some agronomical advanced agronomic practices which will help for the soil restoration, and we should better to go for the nature based solution for the controlling pest and diseases or soil restoration. In today's era, we should focus on the technology, like precision agriculture, IoT based farming, AI based farming, then sensors. We have to use this thing so that the imposed cost should reduce, and the greenhouse gas emission from agriculture should reduce. Precision agriculture will helpful for reducing the fertilizer use, pesticide use, like that, and also helpful for reducing the greenhouse gas emission. If we use the IoT practices, we can save a lot of water, lot of fertilizers. If we go for the AI based farming, we will know from where more greenhouse gas emission occurring, where the nutrient deficiency is there, we can do the better prediction. So another things we can do, that is the sustainable practices for the agriculture, and more focus should be on the interdisciplinary research. So why soil health matter? Because it is required, because it is related to the food security, human health. So this is possible by consuming the carbon from the soil, that is called carbon sequestration. If the carbon sequestration we will do more, the soil health will increase, then we will get a good more production with less fertilizer and less pesticide. So when we reduce the carbon from the atmosphere, it will store into soil. So the drought, floods, or runoff like that situation will reduce. So we can balance the climate by improving the soil health. So that soil health will improve by the one process, that is carbon sequestration. So carbon sequestration have the good impact, that is on the productivity, on soil. Also, it will helpful for reducing the use of fertilizer, pesticide. Also, it will control the climate, and also like drought, floods, high rainfall, and low runoff. This thing we can control, okay, because we have to control first the CO2 from the atmosphere. That is possible. For that, we have to focus on the soil. So what are the different pillars of soil health? What are the different components? So the major pillars are the physical health, chemical health, and biological health. In physical health, we know the some indicators like bulk density, texture, infiltration, and the chemical health, that is nutrient availability, then cation exchange capacity, and the biological health like soil enzymes, microbial populations, like that. But the major center indicator which will control the three pillars, that is the organic carbon. If your soil organic carbon is there, the physical health of soil, chemical health, even the biological health of soil is good. So we should more focus on how to improve the organic carbon in the soil. Then if we cannot measure the soil, then we cannot manage the soil also. So here, how to measure the soil indicators, soil health indicators, so that we can follow some management practices, so the soil health we can improve in future. So we know that there are three physical three soil health components or the pillar, that is physical, chemical, and biological. In physical, we will select some indicators to analyze the physical health of soil, like the texture, porosity, water holding capacity, in aggregation, aeration, and the bulk density of soil. In chemical, we will select pH, connection capacity, then nutrient available status, and these things. In biological health or biological properties, we will select the microbial diversity, microbial biomass, enzyme activities, or microbial respiration. Okay, so these three from this proper from these three pillars, we select some properties to analyze the soil health. How soil health required for the climate resilience? How the climate resilience will come due to the soil health? If or if you will improve the soil health, will climate resilience will come? Question is, the answer is yes. If you'll go for this carbon sequestration, because the carbon sequestration, CO2 in the atmosphere will get reduced. So when the organic carbon content will increase, the water holding capacity of soil will increase, filtration rate will increase, then runoff will reduce, soil erosion will reduce. Then because of this soil health, the nutrient use efficiency will increase. We will use less fertilizer, less pesticides. Then whatever the CO2, CH4 into releasing, so that one we will reduce their percentage, so that there is the slightly reducing the climate change effect. Then soil health is acts against the extreme weather conditions. We know that extreme weather conditions like high rainfall, high temperature, drought, or different stress in the soil. If we maintain the soil health by adding the organic carbon in the soil, we can protect the soil from the extreme weather conditions. So that's why soil health is very important for the climate resilience. So what are the key management practices we will follow to improve the soil health? So first one, that is the conservation tillage. So conservation tillage means we have to maintain at least 30% of the crop residue the soil, so that that crop residue will add the organic carbon into the soil and will reduce the impact of the high rainfall on the soil. So runoff will not occur. Runoff will not occur. So because of that, soil erosion will not occur. So we are conserving the soil. We are not allowing the soil to get eroded from one place to other place. So soil conservation is one of the most important practice. Then another one is the crop rotation. If we do the crop rotation, we will improve the soil fertility. We will make the nutrient balance into the soil, and also we will add carbon into the soil. Then another practice we can do, that is the crop cover with the green manures. So green manure will produce the high biomass. That biomass will add into the soil. It will not only improve the soil fertility but also add the organic carbon. Why we are focusing more on the organic carbons? Because the organic carbon is the center element, is like a hemoglobin to the soil. This center element is responsible or required into the soil to control the soil health or to fight against the climate change factor. Then application of the compost and biochar which will stay in the soil for the longer years. Then for the crop residue mulching, because we know that soil is suffering from the high temperature, so we have to use the crop residue as a mulch. Then follow the nutrient management, agroforestry system, and technology-based farming like the precision agriculture for improving the nutrient efficiency and reducing the fertilizer use just in the soil. You can see here the how soil health practices, how soil health will improve the different practices. If you see the conservation tillage or zero tillage by maintain a 30% crop residue in the soil. Here are the some management practices will improve the soil health. One is the conservation tillage will improve the organic carbon by 12 to 18% over the 5 years experiment, and reduce the soil erosion by 40 to 60%, increase the water infiltration by the 15 to 25%. Another practice, that is the crop rotation and diversification, will increase the organic carbon by 18 to 15%, nutrient availability to the plant by 10 to 20%, and microbial biomass by 10 to 15 to 30%. Then crop covering and green manuring increase the soil nitrogen by 20 to 60, 25 to 60%, soil moisture retention by 5 to 10%, pressure by the 30 to 70% reduction of weed. Then application of organic amendment like FIM, compost and biochar will increase the organic carbon by 20 to 45%, cation exchange capacity 10 to 30%. Biochar will reduce the CO2 emission, that is important for climate change, by 30 to 60%. That is very important. Biochar is very important for soil health and it will conserve the organic carbon more than 10 years. Then residue management will increase organic carbon by 10 to 22%. Microbial biodiversity will increase by 10 to 20 to 45%. Integrated nutrient management like the application of fertilizer nutrient along with the biofertilizers and the organic manures, that is called nutrient integrated nutrient management, will increase the crop yield by 10 to 25% as compared to the application of chemical fertilizer alone, and organic carbon by 8 to 18%, and nutrient use efficiency by 5, 15 to 30%. Then mulching is important in a high temperature area, which improves the soil moisture in soil by 15 to 35%. That's why because of mulching, the grain yield will increase. Reduce the uh, uh, soil temperature fluctuation by 2 to 4 degrees centigrade, and for the increase the yield by 12 to 20%. Agroforestry, it is the taking trees between the crop, that is the combination of crops and trees, will increase the carbon by 30 100%, and nitrogen by 15 to 20%, 40%, and biological activity by 20 to 60%. Also it is acts as a agroforestry acts as a natural drainage system. In a high flood area, this system will work very good way and improve the soil health as compared to, if you compare conservation, tillage, crop rotation, crop farming, crop cover cropping like others. and nutrient precision nutrient management. This is very important, which reduce fertilizer use efficiency by 15 to 30% and increase the nutrient use efficiency 20 to 40%, and yield will increase up to the nearly 20 percentage. This is a 20% increase in the yield because only by managing the nutrients is very good and very important practice. This is improving the yield by precision nutrient management. Then another of soil management practice like the precision irrigation and soil sensor, which focus on soil conservation, which enhances water conservation, water productivity, crop yield, nutritional quality in lettuce in semi region, which will save the water by 42%. Variable rate technology, it means that follow the site specific nutrient management will increase the yield by 10% and reduce the fertilizer use by 14%. Then variable rate irrigation and soil sensor technology will conserve the water and reduce the use of water or irrigation by 12%. Then nutrient expert, that is the one app will use for site specific nutrient management, which reduce the use of nitrogen by 35% and reduce the global warming potential by 20%. Then drone-based remote sensing, which is used for real-time soil and crop condition assessment, which will enhance the water and nutrient management, reduce the application of more fertilizer and more water into the soil. So these techniques which are helpful for the soil health management. The most important in the soil, that one we want to know, that is the carbon in soil. Why carbon is related to soil productivity or the climate resilience. So we know that soil is the one very important for the enhance the soil productivity, because soil carbon acts as one the reservoir of nutrients which contain nitrogen, phosphorus, sulfur, and organic matter. When organic matter will decompose, it release the nutrient slowly, so it will not get waste. Then the importance of carbon in soil is it will improve the water storage and water holding capacity in the soil. If the organic carbon content in soil will increase by the 1%, the water storage capacity will increase up to 20 to 25 liters per hectare. So that is the capacity of the carbon in the soil. So because of that, the crop will suffer from the drought and will give the more yield. Then another important properties or the carbon role to improve the soil properties is the structure. So carbon is used as the most aggregating agent. So it will develop the stable aggregate, stable structure, will allow the better root penetration and improve the aeration and enhance the water movement. Because of that, healthy roots, higher yield, and less soil erosion will occur. Then organic carbon is the fuel for the soil microbes, because organic carbon is a food for microorganism. When microbes will decompose, the residue will take the energy. So because of that, a nutrient will get released and nutrient efficiency will increase, and we can uh, reduce the use of the fertilizers. So this is the role of carbon in soil and how carbon is acts as a shield for the climate change, because carbon is a mitigate the greenhouse gases. If the will is the more the carbon will store in the soil from the atmosphere through the vegetation by increasing the vegetation, so we can reduce the carbon content in the atmosphere. Then if the then improve the climate resilience of the cropping system. So all soil organic carbon rich soil will suffer less due to the drought, floods, high temperature. Then because it will reduce the emission of NO2 and CH4. If the soil have more carbon, improve the aeration, microbial habitat, and reduce the emission of nitrate due to the denitrification or the methane. But this will occur due to the anaerobic condition. If the more carbon is there, the anaerobic condition is chances will get reduced. So this is the importance of carbon again the climate change to reduction of the N2O CH4 due to the better aeration or the seeking of the CO2 in the soil through the carbon sequestration process, so that it will improve the carbon in the soil as well as properties. And then this carbon content will increase in the soil, so the drought, floods, and the high temperatures, heavy rains, what are the chances there, what are the problems there, that will get reduced. So that's why carbon will say it is the shield against the climate change. The benefits of this carbon is the high fertility, better structure, more water storage, more biology, carbon sequestration, lower emission of greenhouse gases, and higher climate resilience. If you see the technologies for climate smart soil management, in that precision agriculture will come, soil health cards, there, variable rate technology, and machine learning for soil prediction, geostatistics and management, zone delineation, IoT based soil moisture sensor, satellite based agri warming systems. So these are some climate smart soil management. If you will do, suppose if you will do the precision agriculture, so nutrient availability reduced by 20 to 20, 25 to 45%. So we can follow the site-specific nutrient management. So because of that, nutrient use efficiency in the soil or the application of fertilizer rate will reduce. If we will go through the soil health card, so we can improve the nutrient balance in the soil 20 to 30%. If you will follow the variable rate technology, fertilizer use will reduce by 12 to 18%. If you'll go for the AI machine learning techniques, we can increase the soil test by 30 to 40%. We will improve the soil testing efficiency. If you go for geostatistics and management zone delineation, will reduce the soil variability, nutrient availability in 25 to 40%, and improve the nutrient uptake by the plant, or improve the soil fertility status, and also improve the nutrient use efficiency, reduce the overuse of fertilizer or the underuse of fertilizer. So these are some technologies. Then some case studies there related to precision nutrient management, that is the delineation of uh, nutrient management zones. That is I have conducted this experiment on the farmer field. I have deleted the nitrogen based on is the variability in the soil. So in that different groups are there, three groups are there: nitrogen, for nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. I delineated. Then I have made different zones based on the nutrient content in the soil: zone 1, zone 2, zone 3, zone 4, and zone 5. So I have calculated recommended dose based on the soil nutrient test, and I compare with the farmer fertilizer practices. So I have observed that when we will apply the nutrient based on the management zone practices, we will save the nitrogen between 20 to 40, and the phosphorus between 60 to 80%, and the potassium, that is a 15 to nearly 25%. And we will get more grain yield by using the concept management zones compared to farmer practices. Less cost of cultivation, more return. Okay. uh, or if we will follow the conservation agriculture, we can reduce the greenhouse gas emission, like this is CO2 emission. This is some case studies. What are the policies are there which support the soil health? One is the National Mission for Sustainable Agriculture. Now it started in 2010, which will improve soil health by increasing organic carbon content, reduction of soil degradation, improve soil fertility, or enhances the water retention. So in this, what are the sustainable practices there, like crop protection, conservation agriculture? So that one we have to follow, so that you will have a good impact on the soil health. So key outputs of this mission is the in Maharashtra found that under this mission, the organic carbon content due to the mulching and the application of organic manures, the carbon content will increase by 0.15 to 0.25%. In Rajasthan, under this scheme, the wind erosion reduced by 25-30%. In Telangana, due to bunding and green manuring, water use efficiency will increase by 18 to 20% in the different watersheds. In Karnataka, the organic carbon content increased due to the conservation agriculture. The impact of the soil health card scheme: the balanced nutrient use will increase, the balanced nutrient use getting optimum, and the farmer will reduce the use of urea by 10% and increase the micronutrient organic carbon content in the soil. Improve the soil fertility, increase the yield by the 5 to 6% and reduce the pollution, soil pollution. In Punjab, it observed that consumption of urea is reduced by 15 to 18%, and balance application is increased using the zinc and sulfur decrease in the soil. In Gujarat, the fertilizer cost reduced by 8 to 10% and increased the organic carbon in Gujarat due to the soil health card scheme. In Punjab, in Uttar Pradesh, the potassium application and potassium deficiency will get reduced and yield increase by 6 to 8%. In Andhra Pradesh, micro and second nutrient content increase due to the scheme. Then global soil partnership scheme, which will run by the FAO, their role is the how to map the soil organic carbon, then standardization of data related to the uh, uh, soil health monitoring and early detection of the degradation. Then support to the salinity and erosion management and strengthen the soil governance, like what are the policy required. The FAO will help to the state government. Under this scheme, Haryana, Punjab have used the soil map to support the crop residue management, to improve the organic carbon in the soil. In Kerala, uh, soil monitoring through GPS help the track the acidification trends and the water the liming program required. In Assam, salinity and erosion risk mapping will improve the decision making in Brahmaputra floodplains in agriculture. Another scheme, that is the ICR, National Innovation in Climate Research and Agriculture, which helps to enhance the organic carbon fertility in soil. So through this application of biochar, so organic carbon increased by 10 to 20%, reduce the CO2 and CH4 emission, improve the soil structure and resilient soil. So the key finding of this scheme is in Andhra Pradesh, conservation agriculture increased the organic carbon by 15-20%. In Telangana, due to the crop diversification and root retention practice, organic carbon content increased. In Bihar, the zero tillage and residue remediation increased the soil aggregation and structure. In Himachal Pradesh, orchard-based climate resistant practice improves the soil organic carbon, reduce the soil erosion and slope. So another practice, that is Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchan Yojana and the watershed development component. In that, soil erosion get reduced by 30 to 60% due to the check dam and trench. Improve the soil moisture by 15 to 40%. Land rehabilitation is also increased under this scheme and reduce the runoff. So what is the conclusion of this topic is the soil health stand as the core for the agriculture sustainability, ecosystem stability and climate resilience. Climate change and intensification human activities continue to undermining the soil structure, function, productivity and pushing the many soils toward the degradation and transforming them from carbon sink to the net source of greenhouse gas emission. So sustainable soil health requires the transition from conventional input intensive agriculture to smart, climate smart, ecological, grounded management strategies. So there is adoption of the technology-based farming like the precision agriculture, site-based nutrition management, IoT-based monitoring, artificial intelligence. So farmer will get more income and our agriculture becomes sustainable. Thank you. Please share and like my video.